Hey, Marion Stewart. Hey, good afternoon.
Welcome to your house.
It's 22nd of March, Friday. It's about noontime. We're getting ready to take lunch break, but I wanted to take you on a tour of the house and let you know where we're at. Don't mind the mess, but I think you'll be happy with what you see. Here's a less than elegant dirt pile that came out from underneath the house. And here's your new excavated bulkhead entry with footers that we poured just yesterday. About 3 hours after we poured the footers, it proceeded to snow 4 inches. So I came back down last evening and covered the footers, not expecting snow. Everything's curing fine, and I'm really pleased with how the excavation went and with the pour of the footers. And we're getting ready to take the next steps into deconstructing the roof and beginning the reframe as soon as Monday. Let's go inside and take a look. So here's your new kitchen space. You can see it's wide open. I think it makes a great opportunity for nice clean living. Here's your new bathroom, your future new bathroom. And if Chris can pan down, you can see the old cistern below, which is where the old mechanical space was and will be the new mechanical space, with a new slab poured to it and really expanded it and made it really more comfortable with a lot more space for your new mechanical systems. Those will all start to be installed as soon as Monday too. We've got an electrician and our plumber starting. Grover Hull's our plumber, and David Dunham is our local electrician that we'll be working with. So now you can see the wide open living space. Your kitchen is at the entry. Here's where we're going to be installing our structural header. That's going to pick up the second floor, but also create the sense of space between the kitchen and the living room. Here's your old flooring transition. We're not exactly sure how old this flooring is. It's likely not from 1820. However, it is quite old, maybe 120. You can see the old sheathing underneath. You also notice that where I'm standing now was the old exterior wall. And we've removed the old sheathing boards from this wall. And I'll show you a close-up. So here you see what is an 1830s or 1820s board. It's about 20 inches wide and a solid 10 feet tall. And what we're hoping, what I'd like to do, is to install these as the kitchen floor. I believe we have plenty, and we'll know that in the next couple of days, especially after we demolition the second floor and pull the sheathing boards off from up there. I believe we have more than enough to do the kitchen, and they will really make some really amazing, beautiful boards. These are really hard to come by, and they're expensive to buy. So for us to salvage them as we have already at very minimal cost, would definitely come out on top, and it's I think a winning proposition that you'll be happy with as a final product. Chris, let's go check out upstairs and see what's happened there. So here you have the second floor. You'll notice again, here's the old sheathing boards, and these are the ones that we're looking forward to removing. This one alone is, again, over a foot wide, and it looks to be about 18 feet long. So that one on its own would do a pretty decent portion of the kitchen. And there's 3 or 4 of those on either side of this stairwell. What I like about where we're at right now is how nice and open everything is. It's really available to us, and we're in a great position to start the demolition of the roof. First things first though, we're going to be doing some reframing inside, again starting Monday, so we can get everything really prepared for the structural work. We'll put posts in the exterior walls, and we'll get our beams installed downstairs. So when we take the roof off, it's as simple as deconstructing it, taking it apart, and getting it back together. And we want to be able to do that within a week's time. As you can see, in the springtime we get a lot of rain, so we have to make sure we're quick. And here's another example of some old sheathing. This is the old roof. And it may not look like much from this side, but when they're flipped over and once they get planed, they're going to be amazing. And I think they're going to go a long way to kind of mix the old with the new. So I'm sitting in what's clearly the old cistern, and what had been used as your mechanical room in the past, and what will be your new mechanical room in the very near future. These are all really amazing old handmade bricks that are all pointed with lime putty and lime mortar, which is a classic way of doing it with pulverized shell and high heat temperatures. So it's really stood the test of time. We've broken back as necessary so we could pour footers behind here, for example, which will pick up the beam that's through the kitchen. We also will build a short retaining wall on my left-hand side that will keep the soil back as a retaining wall. And then from here through the front of the building, you'll see an example of what will be your crawl space. So here's your newly excavated crawl space. Again, we've exposed the entire perimeter, about 2 feet wide, and obviously enough for a human to crawl in. We're preparing to put the vapor barrier down across the entire crawl space in the next couple of weeks, but we want to make sure that we have plenty of accessibility for the coming weeks for our mechanical systems. You'll notice I'm standing where your privet were. Now they're in the backyard under soil, ready for the spring to be replanted. And it looks like we have a little bit of landscaping to do, but I don't think anything's insurmountable. We'll get all this dirt out of here in the coming week and a half, and we'll be moving forward. So I hope you have a great weekend, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks. Hi, good morning. We recognize that this back wall was about 1 inch different from the east elevation to the west. So we ran this green string line. We used that so Tobias could run his block wall, and now we know how out of square the old house is. But we're going to do our best to repair it when we reframe.
Hello there. I'm Tobias Glidden. I'm your mason on this little project working for Andy, and I just wanted to walk through what's going on here. We had to change where this block lines up in relation to this back wall here, because this wall is going to move. You can tell by where we drew this string out. So the wall's got a bow in it and pitching and doing a bunch of different things. So all I'm doing right here is just laying the blocks out on level and square to where the back wall will be in the end, and so everything's going to line up nice and square, and that's that. Thank you.
Here's the most recent board Chris pulled off of the old building just this morning. This is a pretty unique board in its length. It is 14.5 feet long. Got a lot of nails in it, but in short order we'd be able to pull those. And 14 inches wide. So that's 16 square feet of flooring for the kitchen. And this board comes from a tree that started growing probably in 1500. Yeah, 1500. Beautiful pine. It'll sand up great and really make the kitchen beautiful.